How's it going, Laser Bruce's up? I'm Sixkilla, welcome back to the Vigilant Villa. It is time for the next character chapter, and we are going into George's one, which is going to be great, I'm sure. Because George is such a likeable sort of a guy. That was sarcasm. In case you didn't know, the last collection of this charity auction, the 2601 carat Sri Lanka sapphire necklace with diamonds. The main gem is 21.94 times 16.05 times 8.38mm set in platinum. It was produced in 1940. The starting price is 800,000 yuan. 1 million yuan, 1.5 million yuan, 2 million yuan. The price keeps going up and it ends at 3 million yuan. Congratulations to Mr. He for getting the sapphire necklace at the price of 3 million. The tall man who has got the last collection is in a well-cut suit. He calmly accepts everyone's gaze focused on him. The applause he gets is warmer than any bidding before. It's not just for his charity, it's more for him. He's an excellent businessman and a frequenter of all kinds of charity events. No one would suspect such a man, especially when he is quite good looking. Of course, because all good looking people are good people. For sure. Who is George He? Is he a philanthropist? A businessman? Not enough. Maybe he thinks of himself as a careerist. After the charity auction, a reporter stops me when I'm about to leave. The boredom coming out of my eyes seems to scare the little reporter, and I smile. I don't need a mirror to tell this smile can let her guard down and gain some necessary affection. My experience and her eyes have all told me about that. So I don't remember that I have an interview. The sponsor has invited us to interview the bidders. May I interview you? Of course. Why would you bid the last collection at such a high price? As far as I know, the three owners of that necklace all enjoyed a happy marriage. This is priceless. I'm lucky to have that necklace at that price. I describe a good deed so casually. I find something glittering inside the little reporter's eyes. May I have an exclusive interview about your opinions on charity, when you're free? The sponsor's laughter interrupts the conversation. Haha, children drew the stick figures to thank the philanthropists who came here today. Bring it back as a memorial, Mr. He. I accept that painting, smiling. I try to show decent affection to it. You must work hard before interviewing Mr. He. He's usually too low-key. I suggest you start from 20 years ago. 20 years ago? This number always breaks my restraint. My smile turns kinder and stiffer. His words and smile are pointing something. Both of the two men wear masks. Only the little reporter shows joy without hiding. That's right. Mr. He was the man of the year back then. Haha, you flatter me. Excuse me. I'll let my people schedule the exclusive interview with you. That's great. I turn and stride away from the event. My mask falls off the second I turn. Under the boredom and exhaustion, there is frustration. There are so many secret experiments worldwide, but only your experiment is exposed. Is this the big plan you want to show me? I only see a joke. You disappoint me. Stop the car. With a strident brake sound, the driver parks the car at the side of the road. You may leave now. I sit on the driver's seat after the driver is gone. The speed, danger, and dopamine that brain rewards me helps me get rid of those annoying memories for now. A painting is thrown out of the car window. It flies away with the wind. Rough. Man, he is a psycho. The car halts in a place that is not far from home. I lean back in my seat with my eyes closed, exhausted. Maybe I've become vexed because of that thing. I feel the long-lost but familiar frustration. Jackie G has changed a lot. He's entirely different from the way he was when I first met him. He was talented when he was young. I've heard of the legend of the undefeated lawyer. He was indeed professional and smart when I first met him. I like dealing with smart people. Not just the media, but the whole world is watching the case. You must be honest with me if you want to win it. I think I made it very clear. Let me sum it up again. The experiment you're doing now is inconsistent with the one you told the public. But that doesn't matter. You're being accused of using 7 children to conduct illegal experiments. Has the real experimental data been destroyed? All of it was destroyed back then. Meanwhile, the researchers made legal experimental data just to prevent something like this today. We also need to make sure that the key researchers won't give out the truth. Does the experiment have any sequelae? George halts for a second. That's not my concern. Understood. As long as it doesn't affect the case's results. Don't worry, I can win this. There's no trace, I'll win for sure. What I want is to minimize the impact on me. I'll try my best. When he collects all the files and is about to leave, he stops. Actually, I have one more question for you. It's not about the case. You can choose to answer or not. Say it. Why would you invest so much money and energy in that risky experiment? Do you have any special reason? No. That's what I want to do all the time. That's how I've been educated since I was a child, and that's how I see the world. I don't think it's wrong. I believe you have the same trouble as well. Why would there be so many mediocre people in this world? Why must smart people pay for the mistakes made by foolish ones? I always hope there can be a way to solve this. I was so close to success, but unfortunately they didn't figure out what they wanted exactly. They were tripped by useless emotions and lost their direction. At last, they made the wrong decision. They wanted to gain something, but they refused to lose anything. It's not your fault. Most people don't know what they want. So I paid for their stupidity again. I shrugged, but I feel heavy inside. I'm glad you answered my little question, Mr. He. I love to take your case, but it's not just for money. The lawyer on the other side is my teacher. I want to beat him. Frankly, I've been prepared to win this case for quite a long time. We'll win this completely. At last, he didn't avoid his destiny of becoming mediocre. If their project could succeed, such a thing would have never happened. I've been watched closely these years. I can only participate in those boring charity events. I'm not interested in what I'm doing now at all. I was so close to my ambition. I don't want to be resigned. That failure keeps reminding me of how hard it is to make change. Ever since Jackie G appeared again, the past I tried hard to forget has started to appear clearly. I hate this feeling. Jackie's desire won't be sated so easily. For me, he is a time bomb. I can't allow that uncertainty in my life. I hate losing control of anything. The sudden ringtone pulls me out of my memory. It's boring work again. My wife's mental state isn't good recently. I want to take her to travel ahead of my schedule. You'll take care of the company affairs while I'm away. That's all. I walk inside my home after that. Emily's waiting for me with the white dog in her arms while watching TV. We met in her hospital. She's very smart. That's the most appealing part for me. Besides, her family background is good too, and she organises everything in the house well. She gave up her career for me, though I never asked her to do so. She should be a perfect wife, but I keep thinking something is missing between us. Have you packed the luggage? We'll leave tomorrow. I look at the bruise on her wrists and feel guilty. I hold her slender wrists. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. It's weird, I've never hit women, but I often hurt her recently. I can't remember what happened after I got drunk. It's okay, they're healing. We should sleep early. Wait. I take out the necklace from my suit's pocket. I lift her hair and put it on for her gently. I bought this for you, do you like it? It's 3 former owners, we're all happy. I hope you could be happy too. I'm happy right now. I hug her from the back and let my guard down for the first time today. Play that song for me. I'm used to it. I can't sleep if I don't listen to it. Sure. I close my eyes. Thanks to the song's soothing magic, I gradually fall asleep. Or else the things that troubled me recently will keep me awake all night. The journey doesn't go well. Through the heavy rain, we found this villa, a temporary foothold. Surprisingly, I hear a familiar voice. Jackie G, without question, is following me here. This is indeed destiny. I didn't expect to meet someone I knew here. Mr. He, do you remember me? I defended you before, a case 20 years ago. We won. Oh really? It's been a long time, I can't remember. I totally understand if you can't remember, but people in my trade must have a good memory. Otherwise, we couldn't remember all those laws and regulations. You're a big shot and have a reputation. Naturally, you get involved in legal disputes. You're most welcome to come to me again. He's reminded me of it with the lowliest, most rascally way. Rascally, that's a weird word to use. It's not long since the last time I gave him money. I don't know how much money I need to sate his desire this time. No desires will never be sated. Indulging it will only enlarge it. It's true. I've worked on some pretty high-profile cases. The biggest one should be the case of defending Mr. He 20 years ago. That was how I made a name for myself. Back in the day, Mr. He was falsely accused of conducting illegal experiments, and the public opinion believed he had no hope of winning the case at all. However, with my effort, on and off the court, the judge finally let him walk away. You remember a case from 20 years ago? I have an amazing memory. No matter how long it's been, in my mind, every little detail about every single case is as clear as day. Has that been your only winning case since then? No way, I keep a 100% winning record. Do you know about Grand? Here we go again. He's still challenging my endurance. I'm worried that my history may be revealed again indeed. But that doesn't mean I'll tolerate him forever. What he doesn't know is how serious that failure is to me. All his words are forcing me to make a decision. Besides, that rascal-like young man seems very excited when he talks about the Grand case. I received Jackie's text message right after I walked into my room. Your wife seems to know nothing. I've heard she's gentle and thoughtful, and she's a doctor. Oh, her father's also your business partner. How enviable. You've looked into me? Don't push the line. I brought the originals, 1 million, and I'll leave them at your disposal. How about that? I don't want any third party to know about this. Don't worry, no one knows I'm here. I'll disappear in your world after I get the money. Okay, I'll find you later. No problem, I'll wait for you in my room. 1 million yuan, just like I thought. His appetite grows bigger and bigger. It's time to make him and that failure leave my life once and for all. Please come in, Mr. He. Where's the thing I want? Don't worry, I brought it. All the original files? They're absolutely originals, don't worry. Looks like you hide a part of the files. You're sharp as always, Mr. He. I have to save something in case anything happens later. Besides, all the files are worth much more than this price. But don't worry, I only need 1 million now. I'm done with it. Using my failure to irritate me, he is looking for death. The knife slashes through before I do anything. I hear footsteps outside. The light goes off. I hide in the closet and learn what's probably going on. I'm not the only one who wants to kill him. But that rascal suddenly stopped and left. Too late. No matter who does it, I'll plant this on that young man. It's time to let the stupidity pay. I get up early because I want to get rid of something during the morning exercise. Yeah, the knife. For example, throw the bloody robe in the ocean. But before I can get rid of the mobile phone, the man named John Zhang talks to me. I couldn't get rid of the mobile phone because of him. John makes it subtle, but I understand what he means. He was the man who picked experimental samples for me 20 years ago. How strange. What happened 20 years ago keeps haunting me now. Those I've completely forgotten suddenly appear one by one again. Luckily, Emily doesn't ask me about the missing robe. Jackie's body was found, but the death scene is uncanny. Someone cleaned and reset the scene carefully. I don't know what happened exactly or what that person is up to. But right now, the more complicated the situation, the better for me. I'm not worried about that small-time novelist, or the person who reset the scene, or anyone else. I already know what I should do next. Human nature is both the most complicated and simplest thing. Prejudice can't be changed easily. I must remind them of it. Everyone thinks it must be the young man who did it, but their novelist insists that he is not the real murderer. That surprises me and makes me more alert. The villa's hostess is dead before this settles down. The death scene is similar to Jackie's. The two cases are connected. Later we find out that she's not the real villa owner. This thing exceeds my expectations. I must take this seriously. That person in the dark is the most dangerous one. He could be among us, or hide anywhere in this villa. Then John is dead. Claire, John and Amy are all up to something. And John and Jackie are related to the case 20 years ago. Most outrageously, most of them are orphans. It's hard not to think that thing. It's not a coincidence that we're all gathered here. In other words, they may be all related to what happened 20 years ago. Ingram's case records and his parents make me more certain he must have something to do with this. Otherwise, who else would have the motive to gather us here? It can't be those samples who lost their memories, nor can it be dead John or Jackie. There's only one possibility. Ingram Fang directed and acted all of this. I suspected him all the time, but I can't find the evidence that he's behind all this. The fourth body was found. I'm sure this is the only chance I can escape. I go to Emily, but I couldn't wake her up because she's taken the pills. I'll wake the others up if I make more sounds. I have no choice but to leave here first and come back for her later. But fate has played me. The boat has no fuel. I'm fooled. No one knows what will happen in the passage, but I must survive no matter what happens. I'll know if this is revenge made of stupidity and ignorance when the truth is revealed. Maybe no one wants to admit it, but this is the truth. We have to sacrifice someone's life to go forward. Leo Liu is worth the least. He can't make any value to this world. He'll only screw things up. Maybe there are ways to solve problems, but they'd rather choose the most complicated and dangerous way. That's because they don't want to sacrifice or be the bad guy, but meanwhile, they want to survive. How greedy. Fate has once again played me. Leo didn't fall. He gets my life instead. I know my destiny when looking into his eyes, but I can't accept it. As my life fades away, the wife I love and my unfinished goal, everything I care about is leaving me. Why wouldn't that experiment let me go? Am I really wrong? Oh my god, are you still asking that at this point? Jesus Christ, George. You really have no conscience whatsoever, do you piece of shit? Alright, well, George is a piece of shit. No surprise there. That's the end of that one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.